What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you guys my review for Boruto Manga Chapter 69. And I gotta say that it was a breath of fresh air going into this chapter without knowing everything that's going to happen, as opposed to a lot of previous months. So I will say that it was more of a unique experience, since a lot of the stuff had not been spoiled with context. So this chapter actually did a lot of setup, kinda like the last chapter, but I feel like the last chapter also picked up the pace of things a lot. But this chapter felt like it's setting up for what's about to come in these next few chapters. And that's not a bad thing by any means, because we still got some crazy stuff this chapter too. I felt like half of it was set up with characters such as Sasuke, Boruto, Sarada, Mitsuki, Kawaki, and Naruto. Whereas the other half of it continued the incident that was going on from the end of last chapter with Shikamaru, Code, Delta, Ada, and am I forgetting anybody? Oh, Ino too, I guess, because she's doing the sensory stuff. So this chapter started off with Amado being super shocked to see Ada actually alive. He was actually trembling with fear, and Shikamaru took note of this, and that is very out of character for Amado, because generally, he's a pretty calm guy, and for him to be caught off guard, that's how Shikamaru knows that something seriously bad is going on. So following that, Delta says that she doesn't know who Ada is, but she charges at her with the kick to try and take her out, but she stops her kick dead in her tracks once Ada starts talking to her. And Delta is just now wondering, like, what is going on? Why can't I kick her? Because she's doing well on Code so far, but Ada she can't seem to hit. We then cut over from this scene to more of like the setup part I was telling you about, where we cut over now to Sasuke and Boruto. And Sasuke is apologizing to Boruto for not being there during this whole last incident that happened in the previous arc, and apologizes for Kawaki having to take such a painful role of having to go as far as to kill him. And Sasuke tells Boruto that the fact that Kawaki killed Boruto is only info that a select few know, so not to go around sharing it, even though, Boruto let Kawaki do that. Boruto asked for it. Regardless, people are going to see it as, hey, an outsider that's new to this village came in and tried killing the Hokage's son, or did kill the Hokage's son. So I can understand why they'd want to keep it on the low. It makes perfect sense. Next, Boruto tries returning Sasuke's headband to him, but Sasuke ends up telling him to keep it as a gift, since Boruto does say that it strengthens his resolve. Boruto is very, very happy about that. He's excited. I like the little panel of him getting excited over that. Cool little moment. And then the next page after that, Sasuke actually says, he puts a serious face on, and he says he's the one who might be showing his resolve next. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I kind of feel like this is foreshadowing something big to come with him. At least a big fight, but there's a chance that this could be foreshadowing Sasuke's death. It really could be. I have a feeling when Boruto's all said and done, when like the time skip is over and all that as well, and the whole series is just finished, I got a hunch that Naruto is gonna make it out, but I don't think Sasuke is going to make it out. I think Sasuke is going to be kind of like the Jiraiya death of this series. And it would really hit hard. It would, because a lot of people love Sasuke as a character. He is literally a top 3 main character of like the whole franchise. Just, in terms of popularity, because, Team 7, and you guys know the rest. But there's a chance, that could happen. I guess we'll have to see. I kind of hope he at least makes it till the time skip. I would like that. And then maybe if they want to kill him off, they can. They don't have to, but I guess that's all up to them. I think if it's executed well, it'll be fine. And it's definitely going to be a great death if they go down that route, but I'm also not opposed to him surviving, throughout the series, because Sasuke's been through a crap ton, kind of just like Naruto. So I'm kind of iffy on that right now. We then see Sarada and Mitsuki, and I was very, very happy with this, to see them and for them to actually get some pages to talk. So they're looking from afar at at Boruto and Sasuke talking, and they're wondering what they're talking about. And Mitsuki pretty much says that he reveals that he's feeling guilty. He tells Sarada that, and he's saying he's feeling guilty for not being there to help Boruto, and that he doesn't know what he would have done if he saw whoever tried to kill Boruto, aka Kawaki. See, that's where this could all be really big, because if this whole Kawaki thing gets outed now by oh, actually, that's a little later in the chapter. I'll get to that. But if this whole Kawaki information gets outed, we could maybe see a crazy throwdown between Mitsuki and Sarada versus Kawaki. I mean, right now they wouldn't stand a chance, because look where Kawaki is in the power. But let's say they find out post time skip, and then maybe by then Sarada has like her Mangekyo somehow, and Mitsuki has controlled his Sage mode. That could be a fight for sure. And Sarada is angry at herself as well. She feels that she's very undependable here in this situation. She's really questioning herself, because she's someone that wants to be the Hokage. I mean, she is relieved that he's okay, but she's also very, very mad with herself for not being there, to protect him, or trying to protect him. And then Mitsuki actually asks Sarada if she likes Boruto. And I know the fandom kind of went pretty crazy on Twitter with this one. They were talking about it a lot, because a lot of people are pretty passionate about shipping wars and whatnot, and some people were pretty happy, some people were not. It is what it is. I kind of expected Sarada to like him, so I'm not really surprised here. But I found it funny that Mitsuki asked her right then. I mean, I think it was a good time. And then Sarada actually got a little bit flustered, and she was like trying to defend herself and just trying to say, like, hey, you're the one to talk, Mitsuki. You're always, looking at Boruto a certain way. Kind of like, we've seen, like, in the anime and the manga that, like, Mitsuki calls Boruto his son. So we know that Mitsuki's pretty big on Boruto, too, just in general, and considers Boruto to be at least a very close friend. So I thought that was an interesting remark back by her. Next, they both say that they decide that they have to get a lot stronger, and they need to do this so they're able to actually fight Otsutsuki foes. And I do like that they actually said that, because post time skip, I'm sure that's exactly what they're going to be doing, something of that sort. So they are going to have to really level up. And Sarada agrees with Mitsuki saying that, because otherwise she doesn't think she would be worthy of being a Hokage if she can't face these high level threats. And I think that's very true. I'm also going to say this, but honestly, I do not know what's going to happen with them. But it would be cool, post time skip 2, if they throw Konohamaru back in the mix here, just because he also has the same dream of becoming Hokage. I hope he doesn't get thrown in just to be a sacrifice in one arc for Team 7. I mean, that's a possibility as well. I would be kind of disappointed in that unless he really, really went out like with a bang. But I hope that post-time skip he, gets right too. Hopefully he has himself a Sage mode, or even if he has some type of mode with his monkey summoning, that would be cool too. Or maybe perhaps a dual mode. I have heard some theories about that too. There's a lot of ways, to write him right, and they unfortunately have not showcased him that much in a while, so who knows what direction they're going to go with him. I am thinking, though, we are going to see him at least one more time before the time skip happens. Hopefully we get some foreshadowing with him as well. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of be like one of those situations where you look back and you're like, damn, he had so much potential back then, and they kind of wasted it like this. At least that's how I'm going to see it. We move on now to Kawaki actually awakening. This scene is pretty reminiscent of the first encounter of Kawaki and Naruto. Pretty much looks exactly the same, and I know that's done on purpose. Naruto asks Sumire to leave, but as she's walking out, Kawaki asks if he'll be condemned for killing Boruto, and Sumire overhears that. But Naruto also tells Kawaki that Boruto is alright and that the karma saved him and that it was a long story. Naruto tells Kawaki once again that he is family and that he is a part of Konoha. He has to keep reaffirming that to him, and he did say that he was grateful for what Kawaki did because there's a chance that they might have not made it out alive if he hadn't done what he did. And, he might be right because Borushiki and Code, that is double trouble. Right then, a message from Ino comes in, and then Naruto has to leave because the message from Shikamaru has been received. Sasuke also gets this message, and he's with Boruto, so he actually tells Boruto to come along with them, and I like that because Boruto is definitely capable of dealing with these threats now. He has some experience, and I feel like he's kind of earned this role now. Back then, maybe 20, 30 chapters ago, we were kind of like, what is Boruto going to do in this battle? But in the current times, you could say Boruto now is stronger than Naruto and Sasuke. You really could make a case for it. At least on par with them, just when he has his whole Borushiki thing controlled. And then we cut back over to Shikamaru, and his shadow possession actually works on Ada, since it's not a harm-inflicting jutsu. I thought that was some pretty good writing right there. And Shikamaru, as he has her in this shadow possession jutsu, he's fighting off this weird feeling for Ada, kind of like how Delta got captivated as well. So what happens next is Ino is asked by Shikamaru to connect his mind to Amado's, and that's what happens. And Shikamaru tells Amado not to cave in to any of the requests if they give out, and Amado explains to Shikamaru pretty much the whole captivation technique of Ada, and pretty much says that the only way to go and stop Ada is to kill her. So Shikamaru tries, to fight off these instincts that he has to not attack her, but he unfortunately cannot. And what eventually happens is the shadow possession wears off, and then Code ends up getting free, so he gets over to Amado, pins him against a wall, and pretty much starts to torture him because he won't remove his limiters. And then now we're nearing pretty much the end. Shikamaru asks Ada, why is Ada even helping Code? And she ends up actually revealing it to him. She's, thinking Shikamaru's a guy easy to talk to, and she pretty much tells him that she likes Kawaki, and after Shikamaru gets this information, he tells Ino to open the lock and release Code from this room since the situation has changed. And he tells Ino to end up stalling Naruto and Sasuke somehow. And obviously Shikamaru is not aware that Boruto's tagging along as well. But that'll be another surprise. So maybe we'll be getting a Sasuke and Naruto and Boruto versus Code battle. Like a 3-on-1. That would be kind of crazy, but I think that would make more sense if his limiters were removed, because I think Boruto in the Borushiki mode should be able to take Code now. So, maybe Boruto's going to sit out while Naruto and Sasuke fight. There's many ways they could go with that. And we gotta see how they get Code away from Amado. That's another big thing. And then pretty much the last point I have to make about this chapter is that Shikamaru ends up making a proposition to Ada, and that is to come over to Konoha, and that if she does that, they can mutually aid each other. And honestly, I love that part because that's so in character of Shikamaru. I felt like that was a good cliffhanger as well. I personally don't think she's going to end up going over to their side, but I could be wrong. It really could go either way, but good cliffhanger for sure. I will say I really did enjoy the writing in this chapter. I feel like every character was written well. I also want to say some of my favorite parts were some of the setup scenes and foreshadowing scenes of the future. Like, I loved the Boruto and Sasuke interaction. I did like the little conversation Naruto and Kawaki had, and I really, really loved that Mitsuki and Sarada are showing some resolve, to get more involved. And that is a big thing for sure because, we've had a lot of Boruto and Kawaki in this series and a lot of the old gen, and I guess one of the big criticisms of Boruto has been the lack of involvement of the new gen in certain cases, and I do understand that. But writing wise, it makes sense if, like, hey, if someone attacks the village, obviously Naruto and Sasuke are going to step up before, like, the young guys of the village who are nowhere near in power to them. So I feel like they're going to get a lot more relevant post time skip. And I'm really counting on that for them, and I sure hope they do, because that will definitely fend off some criticisms of that. Hopefully they do get some more moments, though, to pre-time skip right now before we move on. Hopefully Sarada and Mitsuki, and hopefully Ino Shikacho as well, because it doesn't seem like we're really focusing in the manga on any of the other teams. So I guess the anime will rely on that, or who knows, maybe we'll get like a chapter where like Metal Lee will come swinging out of nowhere and land a kick on someone. You never know. But overall, I did enjoy this chapter. I'm gonna say it wasn't a great chapter, but I'm gonna say it was a pretty good chapter. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. That's what I normally consider to be a pretty good chapter. A lot of good stuff. Really enjoyed the writing. Pretty much just waiting to see where everything climaxes from here and what happens next month. But let me know what you think of this in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the chapter, or if you guys disliked the chapter, let me know. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. Hope you guys have a good day or night. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.